Hello and welcome to another Full Court Press podcast, a college basketball experience. LT here with my guy, Sammy D. How are you, Sam?
Doing good, LT. We are in the heat of March Madness here, the start of it, and yeah, we got a great show coming up with one of the first to go dancing.
Yes, the first, not one of the first.
Yeah,
Before we start, let's don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review if you love the podcast, like the podcast. You think I'm palatable, which some people have a hard time dealing with, especially at home. Give us a 5-star review. We got a whole bunch the last couple weeks, and hopefully we can keep that going. So this team is the first team to go dancing in the 2024 NCAA college basketball tournament. We got Morehead State in the house.
welcome,
Good
Coach.
morning. Hey, good morning, fellas. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, why aren't you somewhere fun for spring break?
Well, we are. We're getting ready for March Madness, man. And I can tell you this: there's no funner place to be than here in Morehead, Kentucky, where people are extremely excited to get this thing started.
Yeah, you obviously haven't been to Florida or like Mexico or like Cancun for spring break, but we'll let you be on that one. So
I don't know,
Overrated,
LT, like,
overrated. Those
yeah,
places are overrated, man.
I was gonna say, like, you reach out to any college basketball fan, player, coach, student manager, trainer, whoever it is. It's like if you're like, hey, you want to be on a beach in Mexico, or do you want to just win your conference tournament and prepare for the big dance? I'm pretty sure they're going to be in preparation mode and having a good week this week.
yeah,
So,
Without question. Without
so
question.
Coach Preston Spradlin, welcome to the show. You guys are 26-8, 14-4 in conference on a 6-game winning streak. Just won the Ohio Valley Conference, right? Like, what's the mood at Morehead State right now?
It's rocking, man. I mean, everybody's fired up and excited. You know, we had a couple days off and let the guys rest up a little bit, and we'll get back on the court here today. We'll kind of ease back in after giving the guys a little break. But it's spring break, you know, here on campus as well. So not a lot of students at the moment, but a lot of excitement. You know, everybody's fired up, and you know, being the first ticket punch, there's so much benefit to it. Obviously, we get a chance to kick off March Madness, but we also get a real chance to enjoy our championship without having to worry about who we're going to play or where or any of those types of things. So we're soaking all that up right now.
yeah, yeah. Did you hear the comment I asked to Sam, blue or red? Did you hear that comment?
In,
I,
in
I did
Kentucky?
not.
Okay. So technically there's two colors in Kentucky. I mean, I know there's yellow in the back.
Kentucky basketball.
Kentucky and Louisville. So if someone said blue or red to you, what would you say now to them?
You know, I grew up a Kentucky fan, and I actually got my start
Yep.
at the University of Kentucky. I spent 5 years there with Cal,
Yep.
and then you know, now I'm over here with the blue and the gold here at Morehead State. So I would say blue. You know, it's certainly more of a blue state when it comes to the basketball fandom.
Now it's blue and gold. It's not just
Yeah,
blue, it's
Correct.
blue and gold,
there it
right?
is, blue and gold, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, right, right. So you've had we're going to have Riley on the podcast after you. I mean, you really had a great year and you've done some great things at Morehead. I mean, you were the assistant, then you became the head coach. You started obviously at Kentucky. You went to Alice Lloyd College.
Yeah.
You had a degree in history.
Yeah. How about
What the
that?
hell do you
Don't
do with
ask me.
that? What do you
Well,
do
don't
with that?
quiz me. Don't quiz me any
No, no, no.
dates or anything
No,
like
no,
that,
no,
man.
no.
I've lost all that.
But like,
So
what do you do? I listen, I have a communication degree and I use communications all the time. Obviously not very well, but like, what do you do with a history degree? Do you teach? Do you coach? Like, what do you do
you
with
know
a
what?
history degree?
It's a great question. So when I was in college, my goal was I always wanted to be a high school coach and teacher, and I love social studies and history and all that. And so I began, you know, my journey in college to become a social studies teacher. And you know, I halfway through college, I really realized, man, I want to try to coach in college, and started researching. And you know, there's not a degree for that; you just need a degree. And so I said, okay, what's the quickest degree that I could get that's close to what I was working towards anyway? And so I flipped that thing and to history and kind of bet on myself to you know, roll the dice and say, hey, it's either going to be a college basketball coach or you know, work in a museum somewhere. So let's bet on ourselves and figure this thing out.
Listen, you know what? I did a class, Sam, at I went to University of Illinois Chicago, and they had a class called Coaching Strategies.
Yeah.
And they had coaching strategies 1 and coaching strategies 2. The professor was the former assistant basketball coach, Denny Wills, and every person in that class was an athlete.
I'm sure they were. It's, you have that kind of athlete culture. It's, your coaches are your mentors growing up, and a lot of them are your heroes and who you want to become and whatnot. So
Are you talking about me again?
I think so. LT was one of my coaches. So it's, so it's a privilege to do the podcast with him. But, yeah, Coach, talk a little bit about the season, right? Talk about your guys. You lost Mark Freeman to an early season injury, right? The word was, he was going to be the returning OVC preseason player of the year. He's out with an injury for the season, right? And then, what happened early season that just got these guys gelling? I mean, you've got Riley Minix, who you brought in during the offseason, who's OVC Player of the Year, Tournament MVP, Drew Thelwell, most assists in any season at Morehead State, Khalil Thomas, most three-pointers any season at Morehead State. What happened this year?
Man, we've just been so unbelievably blessed. I mean, we really, truly have. God sent us so many great players through a lot of different avenues. And, I think I'm just a firm believer, good people become great players. And the character level of this team is just as high as the wins and the accolades that you just named off. And so, it was 2 weeks to the day before the season began that we found out Mark was going to have a season-ending injury, and he was obviously voted preseason player of the year. He won the award last season, and then we were picked first again. And so at that point, I think on the outside looking in, a lot of people thought, wow, how are you going to replace him? And obviously that's a big blow, and it was. But we knew we still had enough. We knew we still had enough firepower and talent and depth and experience, and that's proven to be right. We've got an older team. We only have one true senior. That's Drew Thelwell, who you mentioned, who's been here for all 4 years and has become the all-time winningest player here in Morehead State history. I don't know that that's ever going to be broken now, and so really proud of that. And then, the rest of our rotation guys are all 5th or 6th year seniors, and then we got 2 freshmen we sprinkle in there. And so, it's just been a really rewarding season to see guys step up in the absence of guys that have gone down with injury, whether it be for a full season or just a couple games. And, I think that's important to talk about the story of this team because, 18 conference games, we played 8 of those without a starter this year and won 6 of them. And so we finished 14-4 in a 3-way tie. We win a share of the regular season title back-to-back years, for the first time in 40-some years for this, or 60-some years for this team, for this program. And then, punch our ticket to March Madness. So this has just been a really fun ride. And I wouldn't say it was surprising because we knew we had a really good team, but it's been extremely rewarding and a lot of fun. And, the motivation for our group has just been, hey, man, let's fight for the opportunity to have one more day together. And then once we got to Saturday to play in the championship game, we knew we had the best team. We always felt like that, not in an arrogant way, but in a confident way. But we said, hey, let's take care of business. Let's do what we've done all year. And be the best team out here for this 40 minutes. And then we'll be, blessed with another 2 weeks together as a team. And so that's kind of what we're enjoying right now.
Yeah. Yeah. What I really like is I'm a big proponent of scheduling. And you played Purdue, you played Alabama. And where I kind of started noticing you guys was that game against Indiana. Yeah. How cool was that experience?
It was great. Scheduling is a very difficult thing nowadays, right? With the net and the metrics, and there's different sides of it for each of those teams you mentioned. Plus, there's different, avenues and strategies for us as well. But I think the most exciting piece for us, obviously, when you're playing, high level teams, you're playing on the road, you're playing in those environments on national television. Those are the natural things that are exciting. But when you fast forward, opening at Alabama on November 6th, I think it was, to, December 19th or so, when we played Indiana, the most exciting thing was how much we had improved, right? How much we had improved. And not that we didn't play well against Alabama or Purdue. We did. The score wouldn't tell you that, but by our standards, we did some good things. But we really just accomplished our goal of learning from those games and getting better. And so obviously we came up just a little bit short. there at Indiana, and that was a phenomenal experience. And our guys were hurting after that game, but the message after in the locker room was, "Hey, look how much we've grown because of you guys of buying in and listening and being focused on getting better. And you continue to do that. When we get to March, we're going to earn another opportunity to play another Big Ten or Power Six team, and we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready to beat those guys because of the experience you're going through right now." And that's where we're at, and that's where our guys have great confidence, and they deserve that. And we're excited for the opportunity.
Hey Sam, you know what's funny is they're like five. I think their top 5 scorers are guards. So who did you throw in to guard Zach Edey?
Who didn't we? Right? I think I even if they would have let me,
the
I
middle
would have
coach
jumped
just
out there,
pack it,
right?
just pack it.
Yeah, man, he's phenomenal, right? It's crazy. We looked up. We're 25 minutes into that game, and we played really well. It was a single-digit game at that point in time, and we were playing well. We were out rebounding them, and you looked up, and he had played more minutes than anybody in the game, and that includes more than our point guard Andrew Thelwell, who plays 30. And so to say, wow, he's 7, 4, 5, he's in his usage rate, and he's playing that many minutes, it's incredible, right? And so what was really cool though about that game was it was very evident, no one would argue, that the second best player on the court by a significant margin was Riley Minix, and that was only his 3rd Division I game, and he was going toe for toe with Zach Edey, who's obviously the National Player of the Year. So that was really cool, and a big moment for Riley and our program to say, hey, like, you belong. This is you're here and you belong. So,
well, I think Riley committed to you guys last April, right? After both your seasons were over. What was that conversation like? Bringing him out of the NAIA with his All-American year and kind of the history of success he's had there, and bringing him into a Division I program.
Yeah, it was interesting, right? We always say here at Morehead, we're kind of zigging when everybody else is zagging. We're finding new ways to get players and being creative. But at the end of the day, we're gonna really evaluate and get the right fit, but we're going to get good people. And Riley's a wonderful example of that. You have to rewind to last season. We had another NAIA All-American, Alex Gross, who was a first-team all-conference guy and defensive player of the year in the OVC. So he actually told us about Riley, and he said, hey, I've loved my experience here. I played against this guy named Riley Minix. He's going to be in the same situation as me, and I'd like to reach out to him and tell him about my experience here and how much I enjoyed it. And we pulled up Riley's stats and a couple clips, and we said, yes, you know what, call him now. And so he gave us a great recommendation. And in all honesty, Riley was kind of on the fence that he wanted to start his pro career. And he and I talked for almost an hour the first time, and we really connected. And I was very thankful how receptive he was to it. And then I kind of flipped it over to my staff, and then I spoke to his parents for almost 2 hours one night on a conference call. And then a few days later, we had him up here on a visit. And then thankfully on Easter Sunday, he called and committed. And that was a very special day for our program, because we knew we were getting not only a great player, but we were getting a really great, a terrific person. And he's really proved all those things right.
Yeah. I think that was probably the best decision for him, because the spotlight he's going to get the next couple weeks is going to only catapult his pro career and stuff like that. I mean, did you ever think he would be averaging 20.8 and 9.8 rebounds a game? And I'm actually going to give him some advice when we talk to him next, is if you want to get your rebounds up, start missing shots like Dennis Rodman did, get the rebound. Hey, coach, you'll still get points. But, like open layups where no one's around, miss a couple times, you're going to get the rebounds up. Double-double, baby.
It's crazy. I think he's 10th in the nation in double-doubles right now. I think he's top 5 in the nation in field goal percentage. So I don't think he's going to kill that stat by missing a couple of layups on purpose.
Coach, I can be very convincing.
Yeah, well, so can I. I got an NAIA guy to come up here and play all the way from Florida to Kentucky. So I'll challenge you on that. But man, we knew he was going to be really good. Did I know that, those stats? Probably not. At that point in time, we had other guys on the team, and you're trying to figure out where they're all going to fit in. And but it just speaks to his versatility. Right, he can play outside, he can score on the block, he can make tough shots, late clock, and he can rebound. And quiet as kept, he's a really good defender. He really truly is. But he's an all-around player. He's a fierce competitor. He's an unbelievable teammate. He has compassion and cares for his team and his teammates. And man, he's just a fun guy to be around. You know, I joke with him all the time. I say, I swear, I think you were made in a lab, like Captain America. And that's not even just looking at him. You know, his physical and his features, his naturally straight teeth. It's like, dude, like, what is there's got to be something wrong with you, right?
Oh, we're going to be staring at
he's awesome.
Coach, we're going to be staring at his teeth the whole damn podcast interview now.
You are. You're going to be like, who is this guy, man? You're going to have a big man crush by the time you're done with him. He's going to this guy he's a star. He's a star, and he's very deserving of the spotlight that's going to be on him throughout March Madness for sure.
Hey Sam, he better call the selection committee and tell him not to put them in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know. That's where LT is going to be for the first round here.
Okay.
We'll see. So, Coach, I wanna kind of put you on the spot to tell a story here, because I really liked what you said in a recent press conference. But you know, going back to your days with film and editing, and you know, and then moving into an assistant role, and you've kind of seen all different angles of what kind of builds a basketball team culture, right? And there's a lot of people that don't get the spotlight. LT and I like to shine a little light on them, whether it's the band or, in this case, the student managers, right? I know you're student managers, right? And there's a story about one of them named Tad that I want you to tell, that happened at the Ford Center recently.
Sure. Well, you know, I gave a brief snippet of it in our championship post-game press conference, but the real story is, you know, I went in. I'm always looking for ways to motivate the guys, and I'm very on the fly, and I don't always run things by my staff, and because I like to have fun, right? And so you know, it was after, and I thought it was very important going into this postseason that we kept the guys loose. We were confident we have the best team, and so we didn't want to add pressure to them or anything. So we wanted to have fun and keep them loose, and so. Coming off of the game against SIUE in the quarterfinals, you know, we beat those guys, and so the next morning we're having a meeting. I'm referencing the game, things we did well, and then I get a very stern tone, and I say, guys, you know, at the end of the day, we got out rebounded in this game, and it really pisses me off because we're one of the top 10 rebounding teams in the country, and we were still fortunate to win this. And you know, we say all the time, once you get to March, yesterday's price is not today's price. You have to be able to step up and do more and be willing to go the extra mile. And we're going to have to do that if we want to extend our season tonight against Tennessee Martin. And so then I go and I get out this pair of jogging pants and I hold them up. And I say, does anybody know what this is? And I'm real serious. And the guys are like, jogging pants? And I'm like, yeah, they're jogging pants. All right. And I turn it around and I said, anybody know what this is? And they're like, holes in the jogging pants, Coach? Like, I said, you're daggone right. They're holes in the jogging pants, guys. What you don't know is that last night at 2 a.m., Tad, our manager, was doing laundry in the Ford Center, and he got locked in. And you know what? He didn't make an excuse. He didn't freak out. He didn't give up. What he did was he found a way to bust out of the Ford Center. And when he did, he found himself in the back loading area for the buses, a fenced-in area, fellas, and he was stuck. So you know what he did? He just figured it out, man. He knew what got him into that position wasn't going to be enough. He had to do more, like we got to do. So he starts stacking up pallets next to the garbage cans. And he climbs up and he scales a fence, and he climbs over top and he rips a hole right in his rear end, man. And but he found a way to make sure that we got clean laundry today. And so today, when you guys are, you know, thinking, you know, can you fight over a ball screen? Can you finish this possession with a rebound? Can you make these free throws? I want you to think about Tad. I want you to think about those pants, man, and his sacrifice and the way he found a way in March, because at the end of the day, man, men play in March. And Tad found a way, and that's what we're going to do. And so we got on the bus to go to shoot around. Tad's on there, and I present Tad with his pants again, and the team starts giving a Tad chant. And so you know, we're thankful for Tad, man, and all of our managers, the work they put into, but they gave us a very inspiring story and some inspiration to get through some March Madness. So it was a lot of fun.
I love that. I love that story.
Just wait, Sam. Coach, did you check the inside of the pants? Probably shit himself.
Hey, this is a family friendly show, guys. We're
Yeah,
gonna,
no, no,
No,
we're all
it's
good.
not.
We're all good.
right?
No,
We're
but
gonna.
yeah, there's rumors you're gonna frame those pants and put them in the locker room. So it's and
They
it
are on
sends.
their way to the frame shop right
I
now.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
It sends a great message for sure. And like I said, we're big proponents of student managers,
Oh,
and just every. I think we're gonna go to the student manager game this season, and we're trying
Nice,
to
nice.
get more involved with those guys because
oh.
they're part of what that culture is. So.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I thought you'd enjoy that story, LT, if you hadn't heard it. I got a big kick out of it
Coach,
at the
Coach, you
OVC
know what,
press
Coach? Why
conference.
I'm, laughing at a colonoscopy for the first time yesterday.
Thank you for sharing. That's nice.
Yeah.
Congrats. I don't know what else to say to that. Congrats.
I feel
Yeah.
good. I'm not running anywhere. Sam, I think it's time to do the questions.
No, for sure, for sure. No, like you, Coach. We like to have a good time on here and have fun. But you mentioned you like to have fun, and that's I saw it in the OVC tournament. You guys play your best when you're having fun out there, and like the blueprint that you've put together for this team. I mean, your players have bought into it, and they're having a good time. They're smiling on the court, giving lots of high fives, like helping each other off the court. And the student manager story shows that it goes more than having fun just on the court as well. So. Cool. So we
Well,
do a little game called the shot clock. LT is going to ask you like 6 or 7 questions. Really just fire off first thing that comes to mind. We'll have some fun with it. And whether it's one word, one sentence, short little story. Yeah, let's let it rip, LT.
Yeah. This section brought to you by Sweatpants of America. Best advice or thing you learned from Coach Cal?
keep it about the players. Keep it about the players.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is leading your team in turnovers?
Man, wow.
Which player don't you like the best?
It's usually the guy who has the ball the most, let's be honest. So it's kind of.
Man, honestly, I love each and every one of our guys. I really, truly do.
No,
The
I know
ones
that,
that
but
play
who's
up.
leading the team in turnovers?
Oh, okay.
Stupid question.
Leading them in
Stupid question.
turnovers. Maybe Jerome Morton, maybe.
No.
I don't know.
Riley
No.
Minix. Riley Minix,
Oh,
2.3.
we'll give him a little grace. We'll give him some
like I
grace. I
like I
think he
said,
makes up for it.
it's usually the guy who's got the ball in his hands the most. So
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Favorite arena to coach in? Not Morehead State, obviously.
Hmm. I'm going to say the Ford Center in Evansville. We won a couple championships there.
There you
I'm
go.
pretty fond of that place.
Yeah, yeah. Biggest misconception of Morehead State?
Biggest misconception is, small country town. I think it's a small town, but at the end of
Yep,
the day, we were able to attract a lot of people from surrounding cities of like
yep,
Cincinnati and Louisville, and it's very diverse in that regard.
yep. Okay. Best recruiting story or win?
Wow. Best recruiting story.
He already said he lets
Uh,
his current players do all of his good recruiting for him.
it's
What happened
true. It's true. Yeah, those guys do a phenomenal job when it comes to recruiting, and yeah, I'm going to give those guys a lot of credit that they do a great job of hosting when they come on visits, and doing a great job of selling our culture when it comes to getting guys like themselves that they want to play
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Is there any funny stories? Like we had bathrooms, we had missing flights in Prague, we had
Josh
picking.
Schertz had to eat some bad chili at a kid's parents' house multiple times. It's
Um, Man, no, not really. We've been pretty blessed, with some guys. We've had a guy or two miss a flight here or there. I will say this. So when I was an assistant here, we had a player, and he was coming from one school, and his parents were coming from their hometown, and the player's flight did not come in. So we did an entire visit with just his parents, and then like a week later, or 3-4 days later, the kid came by himself. So it was the world's longest visit, and we didn't end up getting him, and it was quite miserable. To be honest with you, but looking back on that, we should have just canceled all of it if the kid couldn't have came. So that was a pretty tough experience.
Okay. What is the one thing your wife would say about you after you lose a game?
Mm. Used to, she would say that I need to grow up and put my big girl panties on and move on. But now she's said that enough to me that I would like to think that she would say, you know what, he moves on and just focuses on family. Because so we have a rule: if we play Saturday home games, we never play at night. Okay, I won't do it. And the reason is we go out to dinner with family and people that come to the games, win or lose, and I'm going to put on a happy smile, and we're going to enjoy that time together. Fortunately, we've only lost a handful of home games in the last few years, so those have always been enjoyable.
So let me ask you something. What happens if Coach Cal texts you or calls you and says, "Hey, we want to play you Saturday night at 7 p.m. in Lexington"? Tell me you got plans.
That wouldn't be a home game for
that's
an
away game.
Okay, that'd be an away game.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd be down for that. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Okay. Who was your team and favorite college player growing up?
It was definitely Kentucky. I was a huge Kentucky fan and had a number of different Kentucky players that were my favorites. One of which was two of which I will say Tony Delk and Scott Padgett. Oh. And got a chance to work with both those guys when I was at Kentucky, and still very close with both of them. So love those guys.
I love Tony Delk. Yeah,
Delk was awesome.
One of my favorite players growing up.
Double
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My wife actually wore 00 as a as a softball and volleyball player because she loved Tony. Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool. Did he officiate your wedding then?
He did not. No, he actually called my wife one time the first year that we worked together, and she cried over the phone because she couldn't believe she was on the phone with Tony Delk. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
All right, Coach. The song that best describes you, your walkout song, your anthem.
So there's a song. It's called "Legends Are Made."
Yes.
By like Sam Teasy or something like that. Okay. And so every home game, I won't walk out unless it's playing. Okay. Our media people know that. And so like the game's going to start late unless my song's playing. I'm not like an ego guy at all, but I do like that song a lot. And it really gets me in a great coaching mood when I can walk out to it. So I'm a big fan of that.
Nice. Love it.
All right, Coach, you win nothing.
No, you did a good job with those questions, fired them off. Good song as well. Good song chose. So, Coach, we're going to turn it over to you for the last minute of the podcast, man. Anything you want to share, to the Morehead State fans, boosters, alumni, Eagle student section. You got a watch party coming up this Sunday at 5 p.m. at Prefontaine Pub. Are you and the team going to be there?
We better be, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
That'd be quite a shocker to everybody if we showed up and we weren't there. No, I appreciate that. Here's what's so cool about it, right? We went to the NCAA tournament 4 years ago during COVID, so everybody asked the question, what's different? Obviously, the first one's really special as a coach, but man, was that a stressful time, right? We didn't get to celebrate. We were getting tested every day, and you were just hoping you could make it to the tournament and get into that bubble. And it was just a wild experience. It was a cool one, but it was wild. This one has been so much more fun because we get to be around, we get to share with people. My kids got to go up the ladder and cut the net with me in Evansville, and so all the parents of the players and everything. And so this has been a great, enjoyment. So 4 years ago, we went to the tournament. Our students, our fans, our families and community didn't get to share with it like they do right now. So let's take advantage of it. Let's enjoy this together. We will be there for the watch party, and we'll share in person with everybody. And, the other thing is I think we've got a team that's built for March this year. We're older, we're tough. We're one of the top 10 defensive teams in the nation. We're battle tested. You look at our strength of schedule in the non-conference, it was in the top 20 with those teams that you mentioned. And we got some talented, fearless dudes, man. We can knock in 12, 15 threes any given night, and we're not afraid to do it. And so we're really excited to see who we get the opportunity to play against and where that's going to be. And so I think that makes us a dangerous team. And I think the fact that our guys really love each other, care for each other, and connect on a spiritual level makes them extremely dangerous because they just want to extend their season, and that's going to continue to be our motivation.
Awesome, Coach. Well, you have your watch party. We have our watch party, 8 p.m. Eastern. Maybe you'll join us to talk a little Morehead and see who you guys play and stuff like that. But, Coach, thanks so much. I know Sam and I'll be cheering for you in the big dance.
Sounds good. Just send me a Zoom link, right? Because that other link you sent me,
No, you got.
you know,
We're gonna figure it out because we're actually have to do it on there because it's a live show.
okay.
So we'll figure it out. We'll teach you through that, Coach.
Yeah, we
Listen,
appreciate
it's
you, Coach.
amazing. It's amazing. You know, you mentioned I was a video coordinator and all that stuff.
Yeah.
When you become a head coach, you lose all sense of technology. I can barely send an email now. That's God's honest truth. But if you need a basket out of bounds under, I'm your guy. I got you.
Thanks.
All
Love it,
right.
man.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yeah. Keep having
Cody,
fun this week, Coach, and good luck in the postseason, man.
Thank you, guys. Really
Coach.
appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Sam. So we're finished with Coach P. We got the man, the myth, the legend. Can you smile for me and like get close to the camera? I want to see your teeth.
your coach gave you a lot of compliments.
Nice teeth. He says you were made in a lab. He says you got perfect teeth. You got all this shit.
Backstory on the teeth. These are fake. I have 4 veneers because basketball has taken a few away from me. So,
I got one there. I got about 2.5, so I know what it's like. So we got Riley Minix, the Ohio Valley Player of the Year, and I want to start with giving you some advice to how to get your rebounds up a little bit. Miss more. Miss, and get the rebound. Dennis Rodman.
Sounds good.
Coach didn't like that. So welcome to the Full Court Press podcast, boss.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate this.
Yeah, 6'7" senior guard from Vero Beach made his way up to Kentucky Morehead State for one more year of college basketball. You know, it's an incredible year. You know, regular season player of the year, tournament MVP. What's this past year meant to you?
Oh, it's just been a dream come true, once in a lifetime experience, and I just want to thank God first and foremost, and then my family for trusting me and allowing me to go off and fulfill my dreams. And then this team, this program, the coaching staff, my teammates, the managers, support staff, everybody involved, like they've made this an amazing experience, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah. So Coach was talking a little bit about if you finished up, you're an NAIA All-American. I believe you're also an academic All-American too. So obviously that's a good balance. You believe in the student athlete concept, unlike my guy Sam did. Nor did I. I don't know what I believed in, but anyway. So Coach made a comment that I thought was really interesting. You know, you were thinking of going and playing pro basketball. What convinced you not to do that? And I also want to say you made the right decision. Let's be honest.
Appreciate that. So first, I wanted to take a chance. Honestly, I was scared. I didn't know if I had a feeling, and I was confident in myself, but I didn't know how it was going to play out. I knew I had to pick the right team to help my future career come together. But at the same time, I wanted to fulfill my dreams. And one of my dreams was to always play in March Madness. So, like, that's why I came here. It wasn't for the accolades. It wasn't to be seen. It wasn't for anything else other than to play at the highest level in college basketball. And we're right where I want to be. So it's just amazing how it all played out and where we're at right now. So
I love it. He's used the word dream like half a dozen times already, and it's like, yeah,
dude. I mean, so do I. Use it all the time. I'm 47 and married.
Like,
no one listens to me, Sam. Nor do you.
What a week to be you, Riley. You know, going into March Madness, and I mean, I even saw on your last Instagram post, like, I mean, the words, it was all just a dream. You know, and it's like you with like the net around your neck and everything like that. And so congratulations on the season you've had, you know, and what is this week like, you know, talking to friends, family, you know, back in Florida, and, you know, the support that you mentioned the support a little bit, you know, but kind of go into that.
Yeah, it's really all just a blessing. Like the amount of support that I've gotten from back home, from my old college, like all my buddies from back there, and then my family always being there right next to me. They're my brother actually said, like two minutes into the Little Rock game, yep, our ticket's punched. We're going. Let's start figuring it out. So it's like just the support I have from everybody in my circle, and then everybody from back home. It's been amazing, it's brought a joy to my life that I can bring a smile to everyone else's. So it's just been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he should have a dental NIL.
I know, right?
Smile and teeth.
You guys want to work on it for me? Because I got none of it. I got no NIL right now.
Be careful
LT is
about
a
that.
deal maker, man. LT is a deal maker.
Yeah.
Talk a little about your teammates this year. You know, you've got obviously, you know, you got a lot of credit for the success the team has had and really stepped up. You know, when Mark Freeman had an early season or before the season even began out for the year. But then you got guys like Drew Thelwell, who, you know, they just crushed it this year with, you know, more assists than any other Morehead State player in history for a single season. Khalil Thomas, more threes than anybody else in a single season. Like, what has worked so well with this team, and why do you think that you guys have just gelled so quickly?
I feel like we're an older group. We've been around the block. We've played in a lot of teams, and at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we just want to win. And I feel like as the season has gone on, we've figured out our roles and what means the most to us and how we can win. And we've jumped right into that, and like we've been great at our role. And just Drew, he like, the kid is a joy to be around. He's amazing. He loves to support everyone else. Like, he puts everyone before himself, and it's easy to play for a point guard like that. And he's a great leader. He does all that. And then Khalil, my roommate, he's actually upstairs right now. He's great to be around. Like, he's easygoing. Like, he'll do whatever it takes to win. Like, he'll always be there for you. Like, what do you need? Like, I'm going shopping. What do you want for dinner? That type of thing. Like, you guys see it on the court, but off the court, it's 100 times better. J2, always trying to hang out, always want to watch basketball, always trying to be around you, build a relationship, like, have conversations that he feels like need to be had for us to have a great year. And then it just goes down the line through everybody. Like, it's just been so easy to play for this group and these guys. And then, as you were talking about swag is our energy. Like, he hasn't been able to touch the court at all this year, but like, the guy on the bench, he leads our bench, and he is the first one up, rooting for you, talking to Drew all the time, trying to make him better. And then as me as well, like, he's always there for me before every game. He dapped me up and says, "I love you, bro. Like, do what you do." And like, just him giving me that confidence coming from a former player of the year, like, it's easy to go out there and know that he's got my back. And same thing down the line, 1 through 15. Yeah. So
love it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're 26-8. You played against Purdue, Alabama, and Indiana. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What was that like, especially seeing Zach Edey in the flesh, almost beating Indiana and playing at Alabama? What was that like?
Oh, that was when I first stepped on the court at Alabama, our first game. It was like, wow, like, I've never, like, this is what I'm going to bring it up again. This is what I've dreamed of, like, playing on this stage and being under that spotlight. Like, that's the highest level of basketball. And like, it was just surreal to be out there with my teammates and everyone involved, like, all the support that we got. And then giving Indiana a game was huge. Like, we were right there. We honestly should have won it. We let up the rope a little bit, but it was a once in a lifetime experience playing at Purdue. Like, you could feel the whole building shaking during timeouts. Like, they took a timeout after, I think, a fast break dunk or something, and like, you couldn't, like, your head is shaking from the floor. So it was amazing.
It's like a bobblehead.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, your
atmosphere was crazy.
You're a born winner. I mean, what you did in NAIA, you know, on the national level and All-American level, and then what's been the biggest difference? You know, because I mean, you were always putting up points, right? You know, and then, you know, you were a team leader at your former program as well. Like, what's been the biggest difference kind of moving into Division I?
I would just say it was a test of, like, just confidence for me, being able to come to a new division and still do what I could do. And then just the game. There's a lot more that goes into it than just what I learned at my NAI. Like I've learned so much from the coaching staff, from my teammates, like them helping me as far as like defensively what we're doing here and there. And then our offensive playbook is way more expanded. So there's just a lot more thrown at me. And I feel like it took some time for sure in the summer, but once I got the hang of it, I got that confidence and I kind of brought it into the season, but I couldn't have done it without my coaches and my teammates. So,
yeah. What was it like dropping 34 points this year?
Honestly, that was a fun game.
I hope so.
But I mean, that's just how the game played out. Like I'm one of those guys that I just play and I try to have fun out there, and then whatever happens, and let the game come to me. And on that day, it definitely came to me. And my teammates just, again, like Swag on the bench. Khalil didn't play that game, so he's on the bench. Him and Swag, like every time I look over, I hit a shot. They're jumping up and down. Like it was so fun just to be a part of, and that was opening our conference season, so that was big time.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Spradlin a little bit about it, and it's like when you guys are having fun, you're playing the best basketball, right?
Oh, yeah,
you can, sure. As a fan, you can see that right off the bat. It's like, when you guys are winning and you're playing well, it's when you guys are relaxed and having fun. And like I said, as a fan, it's just awesome to watch.
Yeah.
LT, what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. You actually I have to redo question number 2, but I got a good one. I
got
a real good one.
So Riley, LT does we do a little thing called the shot clock here, where it's going to be just a quick little 5-6 questions for you. First thing that comes to mind, just let it rip, man. It's most of them are pretty fun. So
quick answers, quick hitters,
quick hitters.
Yeah, quick hitters.
LT, let's get it.
All right, the arena you will always remember.
Purdue.
Okay. One word to describe Tad Sweatpants.
Ripped.
We got the full story from Coach.
That was a funny story. I'm telling you.
I don't think Coach will ever talk to me again for the comment I made, but whatever.
It's all good. Okay, he said you guys were a fun group to be around. So
let's pause this quick hitter. Be honest with us, okay? Because no one's going to listen. No one's going to watch. My kids, my wife, his wife will watch and listen, and she'll give us feedback, which I appreciate. He doesn't, but I do. Like when Coach puts up these rip pants, were you thinking like, what the hell?
I was just dying laughing, honestly. Because I knew Coach P was joking the whole time. Let's do it for the pants. And I see him in the background. So this is before he holds them up. And he starts talking. He's like, I got this story for you guys. So they're in the background on this table. And I see the pants back there. I'm like, what are Tad's pants doing back there? Like, I'm like, what's going on here? And then he holds them up. They got like 3 holes in them. It was hilarious. Trust.
I hope you guys bring it to your first tournament for wherever you have your tournament game.
So he says he's going to get them framed, put a piece of chain link fence in there, and then a piece of the net. So it's just like our senior jerseys. He's going to have all that done.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
All right, let's go back to this. Favorite college class?
Like year?
Yeah. I mean, do you go to class or not?
Oh, I'm online. So I'm thinking like
he's a grad student, man.
Favorite college class, like throughout my whole years, or just
let's do all of them. Let's just do all of them. We'll make it easy. Do all of them.
Favorite college class?
Probably adaptive PE.
Oh,
working with special needs.
Oh, that's really good. Good for you. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to ask you what you thought of the Morehead State cafeteria, but if you're online, you probably don't go.
Yeah, I don't usually go there. So
yeah. The one player in the NBA that you emulate.
I like Luka a lot.
I could see that.
You're a little bit faster than him.
You think so?
I mean, I hope so.
He definitely plays at a good pace. I like the European style though, for sure. I like Luka. I like Jokic. I like that.
Yeah,
nice.
All right. Funniest teammate.
Oh man, there's a lot of them. I'd probably say J-Dub, Jalen Wyndham.
Okay.
He's hilarious.
Worst dancer.
Worst dancer. Oof. It's Tay. Easy. He doesn't dance often, but when he does. Tay. Deontay Miles.
Okay. Teammate most likely to foul the most.
Deontay or Zach. It's one of those. 4 fouls a game for each.
Okay. Biggest trash talker.
J2, Jordan Latham.
Okay. Anything funny that you can share that he said that you just are like, man, what's this guy's crazy?
It's constant. Like this guy will be in your ear. Like he gets going. He's gonna let you know. And then the funniest thing was Alabama game, first game, J2. He gets stuck talking to a guy in the crowd. He's wearing a Pringle shirt because they got a guy named Pringle on their team. And it's like a huge red. He's a bigger guy. He's got a Pringle shirt on. And he's talking to him. We get a timeout, and coach just got super hot. He's over there talking to him like too much. And he messed up the play one time. So it was funny thinking back on it now, but in the moment it was coach let him have it. But
yeah,
he'll talk. J2 will talk.
Yeah. If they made a Hollywood movie about you, who would play you?
Ooh. John Cena.
Oh,
that's
a good one.
The coach always calls me John Cena, so I'm going
yeah. Would you be naked in it like the Oscars or wherever the hell what happened this past weekend?
I'm good with that. Trust me, I got clothes on.
Yeah, there you go. The last question: the song that best describes you, kind of like your walkout song or anthem.
I'm a big country guy.
Okay.
Big country.
I'm gonna have to go.
Tennessee whiskey.
I like. Oh man, no, that's not a good one. Goodness, the song that gets me upbeat. I'm gonna do this one. Song that gets me upbeat, country song, "Cowgirls" by Morgan Wallen.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
That's probably part of the appeal of moving from Florida up to Kentucky. You know, you get a lot.
Sure. My girlfriend, give you this. My girlfriend loves to go line dancing.
Okay.
So
nice.
we do all that stuff, and that's why I like cowgirls.
Did you line dance before you came to Kentucky?
Yes. Yeah. I haven't line danced out here. I've line danced plenty. Really? So back at Southeastern, there's a couple places. There's one in Lakeland. There's a couple in Tampa that we would go to. And it's pretty fun.
All right.
Yeah,
nice.
I went to Arkansas. I was just line dancing for you. I can't go back. So I'm from Canada originally, and we don't listen to country music. I'm from Toronto, and I went to Arkansas for my first 2 years, Arkansas Tech, and my first year, 1 year I went, and I remember the first time I went line dancing, I'm like, what the hell is going on? But you learn, and it's people are very appreciative of you trying to learn it and stuff like that. And when you get that down, man.
Yeah, they are appreciative unless you're 6'8" and you bump into one of them, and then they're like, "Come on now, like, what are you doing?"
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Man, that's awesome. I love that Cowgirls. I'll have to check that out.
I was gonna say, I bet you stand out pretty hard on the line dancing. It's all good. Well, we appreciate rolling through those quick questions, Riley. I'm going to turn it over to you here to kind of finish it off. You guys got a watch party on Sunday at Prefontaine Pub with some.
And they're going to be there, Sam.
I know. I had to make sure. The reason I asked Coach, because it's like they've been in the tournament before, but it was during COVID. So it's like they didn't have this like excitement and support around this. So, anything you want to share with like the fans out there about what this week means to you guys, what the message in the locker room is?
It's just been super exciting. Our message to ourselves, we've been talking this past like 2 weeks, and we just want one more day with each other. We just want to win a game and have one more day and enjoy the time that we have and go out there and have fun. Because as you guys were saying, like when we're having fun, we feel like nobody can beat us. We're playing at a high level, trusting each other and just doing it for one more day. And like that's been our motto lately, and that's what we're going to stick to. And we're excited for this March Madness run, and we feel like we got a shot.
Yep.
And we're confident. We trust each other, and we're just going to go out there and have fun. And I feel like the world's going to see it.
Yeah,
it's what dreams are made of. Make it happen, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys.
Riley, thanks so much, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the Full Court Press podcast, College Basketball Experience. Just don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. If you like us or follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us a 5-star review, or else we'll have to send Tad to your house and we'll steal your sweatpants. So
we'll find a way.
Riley,
find a way.
Yeah, find a way. Riley, you're going to stick on for a second just so you upload. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back whenever we're back. So.